No Tell Connection. Welcome to the most extreme menage a trois of violence you'll ever experience here on the Extreme Three-Way Dance. It is No Tell Connections trip through the history of ECW and Extreme. JT, Jenny, and Matt take you on that journey. We started in February 1994. We're here in February of 2000 in ECW's final year of existence. And this podcast is simulcast, both audio and video, audio on all podcast applications under North South Connection, unless you're using Spotify, go somewhere else. And on video on our YouTube channel under North South Connection, where we have a lot of big things popping. We are closing in rapidly on 1,000 subscribers. So thank you all who have done so and have taken a moment to share and all the work put in across the board, especially our little chief, Ryan Gray, out there working hard, bringing in different guests. We just had a really big live with Ibu covering the Cena Punk preview on Night of Champions. So, we had just a lot of big stuff going on that he's spearheading. So big thanks to him and everyone else who provides the content, and especially Jenny, some of the work you've been doing around the NoSo 95 project, of course, that is paying tribute to the year 1995 in wrestling, pop culture, sports, and beyond. So just a lot of cool things going on. Be sure to subscribe, tell your friends, especially as we head toward SummerSlam season. So with all that out of the way, we're going to go ahead and dive in. But before I do that, how are you both doing tonight?
Very good. My leg is not broken, unlike RVD. So doing all right.
It's extremely fucking hot in the Northeast, and I'm not happy about it, but I'm here. I'm alive.
It is extremely hot. I always tell myself, just, remember the days it was -9 in January.
Yeah.
And frigid, and
I'll remember that when it's 110.
Yeah, just remember that tomorrow.
Yeah.
Laughs in Florida.
Hey, listen, we could be like those idiots in the UK. It's like 78 in there, saying it's
a fucking heat wave.
It's a heat wave, governor.
I know.
That's
no
exactly
AC,
what they say.
Everything there was built in 1300s. So
it's true. Yeah.
All right. February 12th episode of Hardcore TV. We open with an RVD hype video narrated by Paul E., who says, tonight we have exclusive information about his status and the first public appearance since the injury. We get our opening animation. We find out we're in Jacksonville, Florida, in the Nest, and Joey Styles tells us the Baldies have attacked and injured New Jack earlier today. So Balls Mahoney will go it alone against Grimes and Angel, and that is our opener. Grimes and Angel head to the ring. Joey says Balls chose a handicap match as opposed to a single opponent and thinks maybe Balls has not learned from all the beatings Jack has taken lately. We take a break. We come back. Balls is bouncing to the ring to a pop, firing up the fans along the way. Balls gets the mic, says he's sick of listening to the Baldies. New Jack ain't in the hospital. He's in the back, but ECW won't let him come out due to a foot injury, so they have to deal with him now. Balls unloads some strikes, but the Baldies quickly swarm him, slice his head up with a pizza cutter. Grimes continues to roll the cutter through the cut, slugs away, but Masato Tanaka emerges and cleans house on the Baldies. Joey reminds us that Balls and Tanaka are former tag team champions. They work together to batter Grimes and Angel. Balls and Grimes brawl outside as Tanaka gets a powerbomb on Angel. Angel gets a brief glimmer of offense, but Tanaka comes back with a tornado DDT. Balls and Grimes head in as Tanaka and Angel go outside to fight. Balls peppers Grimes with punches as Tanaka works over Angel at ringside. Grimes avalanches onto Balls in the corner and then slams his ass on Balls. Grimes goes up top, but New Jack is out, smacks him with a chair. Tanaka smacks him with a roaring elbow and gets the win. Not much here, but good to see maybe New Jack and Ball. Like a little army is being formed here against the Baldies finally as Tanaka steps in to help out as well. I went 1.5 on this, Jenny. Just kind of a standard little brawl with these guys.
It's just like Balls to choose a handicap match, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's like, fuck you guys. I'm going to do this by myself. Thankfully, we
say,
did not
one
have...
ball's as good as two for some people.
Is that
that
what
is
Lance Armstrong?
That is people say that? Yeah.
That's what Lance Armstrong says.
Notable beacon of whatever the fuck.
One ballness. Yes.
Notable one testicle man.
Yeah.
But this was like,
if you had one ball, like, would you risk shrinking it with all the steroids? Like, I feel like you're already like running low.
It's a good, that's really not living strong.
It's like, I got one. I don't want to shrink it.
It's a good point.
To ride a bike.
That is, I never thought
maybe
about
if
that.
you ride a bike, do you need to shrink your balls?
That too. That's like a double. Like
Yeah.
if you're on the banana hammock bike thing, yeah, like that's another reason. Like you're crushing your ball.
I mean, it might give you more flexibility if it's smaller.
It feels
down
like he has
there.
zero regard. You think he sleeps with a cell phone like in his pants in front of his crotch?
I think that's exactly what he does.
Total
yeah.
disregard.
And then he pees with spices on his hands.
He's got one nut. He sits on a bicycle seat. He takes steroids. What is wrong with this fucking guy?
That's why we canceled him, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
That must have been it.
But this was like
Yeah.
surprisingly
I
lame.
screwed all the people out of the cancer money. But yes.
Well,
like we've had a run of like fun New Jack matches where we're like, whatever, it's just fun, whatever. This is like kind of less fun because it's not New Jack. Tanaka is kind of tame. I thought he would really unload a lot more with balls in this. I was
Balls does the unloading.
disappointed. And I am glad they won though, and glad for the Baldies to finally lose. But I just went 1 star, Maddie.
yeah, I mean, I went gentleman's 2 on it. It was totally fine for what it was. Tanaka coming out was very surprising for this match, considering he hasn't been involved with Balls Mahoney in a very long time. So that was interesting to see. But yeah, I mean, there's really not much here. The barbed wire chair leading to the end was good, but this was, like you said, pretty tame by these guys' standards too, which was interesting for a show called Hardcore TV. So gentleman's 2 for me.
Speaking of which, it says TNN on the shit when they come out, and that annoyed the fuck out of me. I'm like, this is not TNN.
Yeah. I mean, it's like the old WWF tapings where they do 9 shows at once. So it's like,
right,
you know, a Superstars or something, but they have like the Saturday main event thing up in the
right.
Just take the sign down.
Yeah.
Driving me crazy.
Well, listen, the one thing I'll say is it's always a good finish when Balls is involved. Joey discusses the release of ECW Hardcore Revolution, a new video game coming out February 17th and has a mature rating due to blood and violence included. We get some clips of the game, which include legends and 3 unique arenas, plus career mode and custom pay-per-view events, as well as creative wrestlers and signature moves. Speaking of signature moves, our next match is going to have some. Super Crazy is here to take on Tajiri in a Japanese death match. Joey says this is one of the greatest feuds in ECW history. Crazy's out to a pop, sprints to the ring, gets a springboard missile drop kick, comes back with a low drop kick, and things spill out from there. Tajiri ducks a charge, throws Crazy to the crowd, pelts him with kicks him back inside, sets up a chair, greets Crazy with a kick to the head. Crazy slumps into the seat of the chair, and then Tajiri kicks the back of it into his face. That was a nasty bump. Tajiri hangs Crazy in the tree. Whoa! Drills 3 chairs into his face with a baseball slide. Crazy slides to the mat, heads outside. Tajiri follows, throws 3 chairs in the ring. Crazy's bleeding as Tajiri drags him inside and hooks on the tarantula. Tajiri releases, gouges, and bites at the cut, wipes Crazy's blood all over him. Tajiri spikes a chair to the floor and growls at the fans and lays in a hard kick to the chest. Crazy recovers with a clothesline, a standing moonsault into a powerbomb. Tajiri bails outside and Crazy follows, puts Tajiri on a table. Crazy goes up top and crushes Tajiri through the table with a huge leg drop to a pop. After break, Crazy is tossing piles of chairs in the ring, and then back inside, Crazy peppers away in the corner. Tajiri comes back with a handspring elbow, spews the green mist, and it's a brainbuster, chucks Crazy to the chair pile, puts a table up and scales it. Tajiri kicks at Crazy, puts him on the top rope. Crazy slugs Tajiri down, leaps over the table with a drop kick and lands a big clothesline. Crazy puts Tajiri on the table. It flies through him with a moonsault for 2. Crazy grabs another table, but Tajiri comes back with a swinging DDT into the chair pile, slams Crazy, stacks chairs on him, heads up, and hits a double stomp through the chairs to win the match in a very fun hardcore brawl. 2 vicious maniacs that do a great job blending violence and hard offense without being meandering or gratuitous, just a natural flow and chemistry. Tajiri wins this round, which I'm sure there'll be more to come. Jenny, 3.5 stars for me, and I think right in line with some of their better stuff.
Yes, very much so. It felt a little bit different. It felt a little bit more brutal, if that's possible. But we had all of the chairs, and that they used the chairs in a very fun way, stacking them, piling them. We don't get that a whole lot. Like, I did have a little bit of an issue with Super Crazy not fighting at all in the Tree of Woe. He's just like literally, you could just have gotten down in the amount of time it took him to stack 3 chairs in
He's
front
just
of his
resigned to his
face.
fate. He just
Yeah.
You're just like waiting for the smack in the face.
Well, I live here now, he said.
Because like it's a whole minute where he does it, and he's just like blah. Okay, so that bugged me. I don't know, it bugged me, but the blood stuff, that was creepy and great. Tajiri just reveling and tasting in Super Gracie's blood. That was awesome. I love the finish. That's unique. We've not seen that, I don't think. And the crowd was super hot for this. Tajiri is just nuts with those kicks. Super crazy. Hangs in there, but I really ended up liking this, and I did 3 3/4, Maddie.
Yeah, I'm with you. I went 3 3/4 on this too. I like the other death match a little bit better, but Jesus Christ, this was like still incredible stuff. 30 fucking chairs in the ring was like just a great visual before they started doing all the shit with them. Just the visual of all those chairs just hanging out in the corner was fucking great. The finish was fucking brutal too. Just all those chairs piled up, and then the double stomp on the table, just gross. That's a good way to break each and every one of your ribs. The blood stuff, to Jenny's point, was also fantastic. So these guys can kind of do no wrong against each other, and it just feels like as we see more and more of these matches, they just keep escalating the violence and how good they've been. So like I feel like their baseline started at somewhere around the 3 range, but now it's because they're beating the fuck out of each other every week, it's escalated, and their baseline now is like 3.5 every time they go at each other. So I went 3 3/4 on this. It's another hell of a match in this long running rivalry between these two.
It's crazy they continue to be creative with it. Like,
yes,
100%.
Because we have complained a little bit about the sameness. Like we love it, it's a little bit same, but it's great. But yeah, I love the escalation in this one.
All right, Paul talks about RVD's broken leg during his title defense in Orlando against Rhino, and we know that RVD has now confirmed his first public appearance will be this Tuesday. We'll find out what happened to his TV title and the future of his career. So I don't know where on Tuesday.
I swear Paul said on this episode we will get his first public appearance.
No, I think he meant we'll find out when his first appearance will be.
This Tuesday in Texas, RVD.
Because I don't think. Maybe some hardcore TVs were airing on Tuesdays.
Like, what's happening?
Yeah, I don't know. It was weird. They didn't really say where. On the web, maybe. I don't know.
RVD's gonna go to Walmart because he needs some things. That's his public appearance.
We'll wait.
He'll be at the corner in Philly somewhere.
Joey helps the hotline. There's rumors floating between ECW and WCW having a legal battle over Sabu, and gives WCW shit for taking Tiny Promotions to court while being part of a massive corporation. I believe we did get some of that intel from if it was Rocco or someone that told us that that's why he comes back for that little after the loser after he says he's going to leave after the Taz thing, right? He ends up coming back for that little blip, and that's because of this lawsuit issue or whatever. But Joel Gerner heads to the ring, and I apologize to someone other Rocco that said it. I apologize if it was in the comments. Joel Gerner heads to the ring as Joey wonders why he's here against format. TNN's taping tomorrow. Joel does the shtick, and then ring introductions are main event, which is Tommy Dreamer and Dusty Rhodes taking on Steve Corino and Jack Victory. So Dusty back in the ring. Here, Joel announces this is a Jacksonville street fight. I've seen a few of those in my time, I believe. Corino and Victory stalk out to the ring, and Joey says it's a miracle that Victory has recovered from his 13-month leg injury. Corino grabs the mic and shits on Gertner, says he's a Cyrus fan. Victory pushes Joel out of the ring. He scampers away. Corino says in Fort Lauderdale, he suffered the worst humiliation of his life, and the 162-year-old Dusty Rhodes beat his rear end. But tonight, he will get his revenge. Dreamer, Francine, and Dusty come out to a pop, and the brawl is on. Dusty rattles Corino as Tommy clears Victory to the floor. All four end up out there and scuffle around into the crowd. They end up in the lobby where Tommy's beating on Corino with a trash can, throws him into a grate. Tommy drags Corino back to the ring. Dusty's pouring it on Victory. He switches over to Corino, goes low as Tommy gnaws at the bloody forehead of Victory. Dusty gets in the ring. They shoot Victory into a ladder in the corner. Corino reverses a whip and shoots Tommy to the ladder and then follows with a super kick. Corino tosses the ladder outside, kicks away as Dusty and Victory decide to go wait for tags after all that, which made me laugh.
Wow.
Carino and Victory double up on Tommy. They bait Dusty into arguing with the ref, and as they do it, Tommy tries to yank the nuts of Carino, but Carino shoves him off and hits a leg lariat. Victory brings a ladder in the ring and sets it up in the corner. Tommy catches Carino on top and spikes him into it. Dusty gets the tag, thankfully not via zip line, and Tommy cleans house. Tommy gets back in the ring. We get stereo DDTs and bionic elbows and a double cover for the win. Rhino's in right away. Beats down Dusty, and Carino hooks him in the figure four. Enter Sandman, hits. Out comes Sandman, of course, taking his time as always. Rhino screaming for him. Sandman finally jogs to the ring, thankfully, and cleans house with the cane. So I don't get why he takes so fucking long. Fun stuff. It was good seeing Dusty do his thing. The crowd, of course, in Florida yet again was very into him. Pretty simple, it was well executed and all connected together. Dusty and Tommy again get the win, but yet again Rhino cleans house to keep things moving along, which this has been great. They've all been great in this.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing I would say would be like, I know Tommy's the elder, and I went 2 3/4 on the match, but I know Tommy's like the elder statesman and he's kind of the ambassador and he's like the respect of the legends, but it feels like the Raven stuff is so heavy.
Mm-hmm.
Like they could have used somebody else here with Dusty against Carino and Victory. I don't know who that somebody is. Like I'm not sure who's out there.
Mikey Whipwreck.
Well, he's stuck in losing his mind now.
Yeah,
so
I know, but
he's busy.
He's with me. Yeah, I don't know who else. I don't know. I don't have anyone in mind. Maybe as we go through this episode, we'll see. But it just feels like Tommy's got these 2 big things going on that don't really cross paths right now. And he's also kind of involved with the Impact players with Raven as well. So it's like he's got the Impact players on his ass. He's got the Raven thing of itself. And then he's got this whole world where he's been kind of feuding with Carino forever on the side. So it's kind of a weird little thing where he's involved in all this shit.
Well, they don't have a lot of people. Like I feel like they're leaning
on body.
Tommy.
Well, just put Sandman in. Well, like he's kind of being
that,
involved anyway.
That was going to be my thing, Sandman.
Yeah, just do Sandman in all this instead of Tommy.
Yeah. He's interfering in every match anyway. So.
Yeah, he's got nothing else going on too. So like that could be the one.
So I mean, I mean, I went 2.5 on the match. It's a fun match. It's pretty similar to the last one, but that was going to be my major point is like, hey, doesn't Sandman wrestle anymore besides fucking coming to the ring and doing this stuff? Like, just put him involved with this. Like, he's interfering in all these matches anyway. And I mean, you could add him to the mix with Carino, with Victory, with that whole crew. Like, add him to Dreamer and Rhodes if you want to do like a 6-man type of thing. But I mean, it just feels like it's been like a long time since we've seen Sandman wrestle a match, but he keeps.
Well, and he's got an issue with Rhino, and they were supposed to fight at the pay-per-view. So, like, yeah, it's like a natural team, and not that Tommy couldn't be drafted in to help here and there, but it's just where that Tommy's been like the main conduit in this feud when he's got so much other stuff going on.
So, I mean, it's like I said, it's very similar to the first match. It's more fun than good, but it's just fucking great seeing number one face in the company, Dusty Rhodes, do his thing in ECW in 2000. So I went 2.5, Jenny.
I'm not going to lie. It is so much fun seeing Dusty here in ECW. And it has been a while since we brawled, in the lobby, in the back somewhere, a different kind of spot. Like, and it feels appropriate for this match as Carino is an old school hero now, which I'm not sure when we started doing that, but also, what the fuck does that mean? I don't get it, but okay. It's wild. They do the crowd brawling. Dusty is just basically fucking up Jack Victory. He is just if I was Jack Victory, I would just be thrilled to have Dusty Rhodes just fucking kick my ass all over the place. And I like Fran is sitting there yelling at Dusty to go and help Tommy because he's getting his ass beat when the ring gets cut off on him. And Dusty like trying to take his old ass in there and get a tag and he can't do it. Like, I like the shoulder spot when Tommy gets Carino on his shoulders, face first, right into the ladder. Love that. That was fun. And then the pair of DDTs, that was really cool. I did 3 stars on it. I thought it was a lot of fun, and I'm just so happy to see Dusty beating up motherfuckers in the year 2000.
Yeah, it's great.
All right, best match for me was Tajiri and Crazy.
Yes.
Yep. Worst was the Baldies Balls Tanaka. fiasco.
Yes.
Best moment, I went with Tajiri's double stomp through the chair. I thought it was really nasty of a finish. It was different and unique.
It was pretty cool.
It was a cool way to end the match, like in a different way. So,
yeah, that's what I went to.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that too.
Okay. Most 2000. There wasn't a ton here. I just went the video game Hardcore Revolution.
Yeah.
Yep.
Or a legal battle between ECW and WCW.
Yes, over Sabu. Stock Rising, Crazy, Tajiri, Dusty, Sandman. And Falling. I just went to Baldies. Kind of a tough night for them.
Yeah.
Fuck them.
The Kings of Hardcore TV. All right, final grade. I went 6.5 out of 10. I thought it's kind of a solid above average episode. There's some fun stuff. Nothing must see, but at least it was entertaining.
Yeah, I'm around there at about 7.
Yeah, I went 7 on it.
All right. Let's head over to TNN for February 18th, 2000. Backstage, we dip into the production office. Cyrus is watching a TV, talking to his headset. He says he brings great news from the network. There's only 59 minutes and 48 seconds left until Roller Jam. He also has a more serious issue to address, as ECW has allowed Dusty Rhodes to put his filthy hands on a network executive. And ECW already has enough heat with TNN as it is. Also, TV champion Rob Van Dam has now broken his leg. And while nobody feels worse for him than those at the network, they can't wait around for him to get better. It's TV. It's a network. Ratings are dropping and channels are changing and money's going out the door. They have to address the situation. And when the whole effing show breaks his leg, they have no effing show. And the TV title will be defended on TV. We all know TNN is the main TV outlet for ECW. And as technical wrestling advisor to TNN, he has a tremendous solution of this conundrum. The network is behind him and his decision that Rob Van Dam will be stripped of the television title by ECW. This is not a suggestion. It's not a production note. ECW must acquiesce and comply to do what the network says and what Cyrus says, and he will tell ECW what to do with the title, and they can complain about their show not getting promoted enough as well along with it. Cyrus gives a ho-hum plug to watch ECW, and then gives a big hype for Roller Jam and demands we get our opening animation, which we do. So, Maddie, what did you think of this opening salvo by Cyrus? And it looks like, I'm guessing we've again gotten some more word of RVD's health situation and now decided to move forward perhaps with taking the belt off him, because it might be a bit before we see him.
So, first of all, I love Cyrus just running through, it's only 59 minutes until Roller Jam. And then at the end of the promo, he goes, there's only 57 minutes until Roller. It's fucking perfect. I mean, I feel like they're trying to make the best out of a shit situation by basically putting all the blame on the network for having RVD have to give up the title.
It's pretty shrewd, actually.
Yeah, it is.
I think it's super smart to do it that way. Like, we fucking hate TNN anyway, so we're going to give you even more heat than you probably deserve at this point, but fuck you. Like, I think it's super smart, and it's like you said, it's shrewd. I think it's borderline brilliant to do that, because everybody hates TNN anyway, so here, throw this in your lap, deal with all the hate mail. I think it's great. I mean, and again, they're trying to make the best of a shit situation, so I think this is a pretty good way to do it, Jenny.
I totally agree. That has Paul E written all over it, does it not?
Yes, 100%.
That's what he does. That's why he's a fucking genius with this shit. Because this is unpredictable, and you gotta come up with shit when things don't go your way.
Mm-hmm.
No effing show was actually very funny.
Yeah, it was good.
Yep.
I really like that. Technical wrestling advisor to TNN, also very funny. But yeah, this is just an absolute huge middle finger fuck you to TNN. Mm-hmm. And it's just, they're getting deeper and deeper every one of these episodes.
Yep.
And the commitment to the Roller Jam bit is elite.
It's great.
I love it.
And I think this works extra well too, because the Cyrus is such a good talker and so believable.
Yes.
Like, if they didn't have someone as talented as him in the role, it may suffer a bit and be a little forced. We've seen these random network executive guys before, they've tried across all promotions, but this is at least something different. So it's cool. All right, Joey and Joel are in the nest. They talk about what Cyrus just covered, that Paul isn't around, and he must be on the phone with the lawyers about that decree. Joey says lots is going on here in ECW, as yesterday was the national release of the first ECW video game, which is the first ever to be rated M. Joel hypes up all the moves he has in the game, including the muff stuffer, and then does his shtick as Joey just glares at him. Tanaka backstage cuts a promo in Japanese about tonight's main event. And then we head to the ring for our opening match. And it has Danny Doring and Roadkill taking on Nova. And I guess finally healthy Chris Chetty, who's back with us. After a break, Chetty and Doring are tying up in the corner. Joey says this is Chetty's official return since Anarchy rules. So that was September. Doring knocks Chetty down as Joey knows there's no Elektra tonight as Dawn knocked her out earlier in the tour. Chetty comes back with a scissors kick, tags Nova, and they double up. Roadkill comes in, clobbers him from behind. Nova pulls a little tomfoolery, and Roadkill ends up clotheslining him. Instead, Chetty nails Roadkill with a springboard sidekick to the neck. Nova shoots Roadkill into Doring in the corner and then cuts through both guys to clean house. Nova and Chetty both head up top and meet Doring and Roadkill with cross body blocks. Joel says this is a chance for one of these teams to step it up in the division. Doring shoots Chetty into the crowd. Nova dodges the Roadkill avalanche in the corner, but Roadkill counters a tornado DDT. Doring sneaks in for a heart attack. Roadkill clubs away, hits a power slam, tags Doring, who comes off the top with a big elbow for 2. The crowd rallies Nova. He floats over a backdrop and hits an inverted DDT and then a standard DDT. Nova crawls around, makes a tag, and Chetty meets Roadkill with a flurry of kicks and hammers on Doring and drops him with a super kick. Chetty shoots Roadkill across the ring. Nova comes off the top with a tornado DDT. Chetty and Nova go up for a tidal wave, but Doring crotches Chetty. Nova hits a splash off the top, but Doring comes off as well and breaks up the pin. Roadkill sets up a table at ringside, puts Nova on it, and Roadkill climbs the ropes, flies off, but Nova moves. He splats through the table. Chetty sneaks up on Doring, but the Conda fights him off and dodges the Amityville Horror, hits an impaler, and picks up the win. Doring and Chetty shake hands. They hug to celebrate his win, but the Impact players are in right away and clean house and talk some shit and pose. So, Jenny, this is a pretty tight little match. Doring and Roadkill stay hot, continue their march to this unlikely title campaign. Chetty looks fine. Nova balls out as always. Impact players' attack was good because it actually, to me, make Doring and Roadkill look a little bit more legit. Like
I would
the
agree.
champs are taking them seriously. So they want to come out here and soften them up a bit as they climb the ladder. So 2 1/4 on the match, and then I liked the little attack as well.
Man, why? You would think I would just be used to this, but Doring and Roadkill have really grown on me, and I thought they were really doing some pretty seamless tag work in this match. Like it was very good. It's not fancy; it's just like efficient and like it works. They're very good in their characters. They have a lot of chemistry. Nova is always so much fun to just throw around and bounce off of, and they do that so well. And fucking Roadkill is so agile. Like I feel like we don't talk about him enough as like a pretty decent, quick big man. You know, he's a kind of a smaller big man, but he really impresses me flying around, and he sells well. I ended up really liking this match, and even though the stupid players come out, I would agree that it does make them look a little bit more threatening, which I thought they did in the match overall anyway. So the crowd loved this too. I did 2.5, Maddie.
I actually went 2 3/4 on this.
Right?
I thought this was the best Doring and Roadkill has looked. Like it's just you could tell they're really honing in like just what to do in a tag match, how they work with each other. Roadkill just fucking killing himself with that table bump was nasty too. Good to see Chetty finally back too after being gone for like 3 years, I think it was at this point. So good that he's finally back. Him and Nova are always great. Nova's great too. So yeah, this was really fun. And like above these guys usually their baseline is like somewhere in that 2.5 range. So I think this was one of the better one of these matches from this crew. So 2 3/4 for me. More of this stuff, like more wins for Doring and Roadkill. Like give him a tag title shot at the pay-per-view at this point. Why the hell not?
Yeah, and you can tell they've gotten a chance to step up, and they're feeding off it with confidence.
They
They're
are
working at a high level. So,
yep.
Mike Austin's backstage issues a warning to his old rival for later tonight and says that Tanaka is Rob Van Dam's buddy, and he's trying to fill his shoes, but he'll take an awesome beating. To the ring we go as Lou E. Dangerously leads out the new Dangerous Alliance, C.W. Anderson, to take on Super Crazy. Joel talks about how bodies are piling up in the hospital, including Jeff Jones, and now Austin has to defend his title without him tonight, and everyone is out of order because of it. Super Crazy's out to pop. Joel speaks Spanish. After break, we get the bell. We get a CW knee to the gut, some right hands. Crazy ducks a clothesline, rallies with a flying head scissors to send CW to the floor. Bill Wiles gets on the apron, but Crazy meets him with a drop kick. Crazy sprints over, flies into Anderson with an acai, slides a chair into the ring, and then shoves CW back inside as Joel is trolling Joey. Crazy swings a chair at Lou, but then turns and CW kicks the chair into his face. He stomps away. While Bill slides a table into him, CW leans it on the middle rope and lays Super Crazy on it, heads up top, but Crazy pops up and punches at him. Joey and Joel take a shit on a rocking bowl as Joey says they have 5 fans, and Joel says, this is a really good line. He says, I've been in more homes physically than Rockin' Bowl has been on TV. That was really good. Super Crazy takes CW off the top.
That is a massive line.
It was a really good line. It made me laugh.
What a compliment.
Really Super Crazy takes CW off the top with a Rana, hammers in the corner. CW reverses a whip. He puts Crazy through the table with a spine buster. CW's too banged up to cover right away, so Crazy kicks out. CW gets a nice salto for 2, but misses a charge in the corner. Super Crazy has a swinging DDT, as Joey tells us Anderson is a graduate of the power plant, but turned his back on a 6-figure multi-year deal from WCW to join ECW, which to me seems quite questionable.
Highly unlikely.
Would not believe that.
Citation needed.
I mean, I believe it that WCW would offer this fucking guy that money, but like,
yeah, he's not.
I don't believe he turned it down.
He's not turning it down. No way.
Nobody else does.
Yeah. Crazy puts 2 tables and a chair in the ring, puts the open chair on CW's neck and smashes it with another one.
That was awesome.
Crazy sets up a table, puts Anderson on it, springboards through him with a leg drop for a botched 2 count. As Lou gets on the apron, Anderson didn't kick out, so the ref just stops. Wiles comes in, he decks Lou by accident, and Crazy throws a chair at Wiles to knock him out. Crazy sets up the other table, puts CW on it, comes off the top with a moonsault. The table doesn't break. Crazy flops the table onto CW, hits a quebrada onto the table, nearly impales himself on the leg on the way by, and picks up the win. Joel makes the Alien Gonzalez joke during the replay. Fun brawl is Crazy just has this aura with a crowd, and the crowd just loves him. I thought Anderson was crisp, but this is about Crazy just cleaning house. The new DA continues to scuffle, of course. But that finish was insane with the table not breaking. Crazy just goes nuts to try and break it, and then nearly puts a table leg through his heart.
I don't know how he didn't. That was fucking wild.
2 3/4 for me, Matt, and I'm glad Super Crazy is not super dead.
I mean, I went 3 on it because
hell yeah.
Holy shit, where did this go? Like, I was expecting this to kind of be like some sort of like extended squash or maybe like more of a showcase for Crazy, and then they just fucking went out there and beat the hell out of each other for like 5 minutes, or 6 minutes, whatever the hell it was. Like, good lord, CW died multiple times in this match. The chair shot, the table stuff, and then this Super Crazy fella. I think he might be a little crazy, you guys.
Loco.
Like, just fucking impales himself on the table leg and then just brushes it off like, nah, I'm fine. I'm fine. I meant to do that. Jesus fucking Christ, dude. So 3 stars for a match that surprised the hell out of me, because like I said, on paper I was thinking this was going to be, a good match, but like more of like an extended squash almost, and then they just went out there and killed each other. Also, Gertner at one point called TNN the Nada Network, so he was on fire. He was on fire during this match too, but 3 stars. This was out of nowhere, Jenny.
Oh, I wasn't surprised. I knew this was going to be a banger. We've liked CW a lot. So, and then the styles mix up here. I mean, CW smashes Crazy around a little bit, but Crazy owned this shit. The springboard senton onto CW on the table. It was like practically across the ring. It was fucking amazing. The moonsault through the table didn't break. Oh my God, I was losing my mind. I rewound that like 3 times to watch how he didn't impale himself on the thing. Like, I don't know. There was a hard power there. It was
Super
so
Crazy, got super lucky.
But and that chair shot when CW was wearing the chair, and then Super Crazy through the chair.
That was ridiculous too.
It was so beautiful.
Yeah, the New Dangerous Alliance have really come in their own. Is the perfect? Excuse me.
I'm struggling too.
Perfect mid-level
cough break.
Yep.
Oh my God! Sorry.
Allergies are fucked up.
All right, we're back. Sorry about that. Yeah, they've really grown into a pretty good low mid card act that can go out there, have some decent matches, and stooge around. They can lose every week. Who cares? Wild Bill, and this is the most he'll probably ever do in his life. So this is great.
Yeah, really.
Beautiful Billy.
I think his highlight before this was working on the ring crew and getting murked by 911 or one of those
Yeah,
guys.
right.
He got crushed by Sabu at one point too, if I remember right.
All right, Joey recaps everything we've seen in Tallahassee these last 2 weeks. He also slips in that Rob Van Dam will be out 12 weeks with a broken leg. So they're definitely trying to bury the lead on a lot of this stuff. Like we're getting these weird leaks, and now suddenly, and our video will be out 12 weeks. All right, we'll be back. It's like,
After last week or last episode where we got 14 breaking news updates, they couldn't wait to tell us the news.
Yeah.
Now it's like, oh, never mind.
Well,
the news is really bad. Let's say it quietly.
I'll say this though: 12 weeks.
That's short.
It's not that long for a broken
really
leg. Like, if you heard he broke his leg, I would have thought he's out for the year. Like,
yeah, I was shocked it was 12 weeks.
12 weeks is not bad because they said 1 to 4 months originally,
right?
And that's 3 months. So it's all like, if you're telling me he broke his leg in February and he's back in May or June, like that's fast.
That's insane.
Yeah.
And to me, that tells me they want to get this belt off him, not because they feel like they need to defend it or have it on TV. They're taking it off him because they want to take it off without him losing. That's what this tells me now. They're protecting him now by saying, okay, they handed us a gift in a way.
Right.
We can get this belt off of him, blame TNN, like Matt said, and then have him go on to chase the world title or do whatever else and not have the TV title in the way anymore.
Right.
And do without him having to get beat. So because 12 weeks is nothing. They could have easily kept that belt on him and just said, okay, he's not going to defend it for 12 weeks and he'll be back. He's earned that right, whatever they want to say.
Right.
I smell a tournament or something like that coming for that fucking belt.
Yeah, it'll be something.
Some gimmick.
Shetty and Nova backstage. They issue a serious warning to the Impact players. They talk about how they've clawed and climbed to get to this point. Shetty takes a shot at Just Incredible, says he didn't have to wear a yellow jockstrap or carry Shawn Michaels bags to get noticed. I mean, Shetty, like, you're not doing much here. Let's just get out of it.
Yeah, really.
I mean, I don't think that's a good comp. Nova says he showed up to the locker room every single day, got his ass kicked for free, and he's earned his position and didn't need a girl to get over like Lance Storm. I thought that was pretty good. And they had good energy. Like, I thought Shetty was a bit misguided, but whatever. So,
well, he's channeling Taz a bit.
Yeah. It's easy to take shots at Ala Montoya, but he also cashed main roster checks for 3 years, whatever it was. So.
I thought Nova was very good in this. That was unexpected, like intense promo from them too. So,
well, that one felt real. I think he really did work for free for a while and found it. I'm guessing he worked for free with the BWO. That's my guess.
No
then
doubt.
Worked his way into a spot by improving. All right, main event time. It's the reignition of an old rivalry. This definitely felt like shit. What do we do now? Let's fill some time. Masato Tanaka is here to challenge Mike Awesome for the ECW World Title. Awesome's out solo, no Jones. His usual chaotic aura sets the tone for another big war. Awesome grabs a quick headlock, lands a shoulder block, catches Tanaka on a leapfrog, flips him over to belly to belly. Tanaka comes back with a scoop power slam. Awesome retaliates with a back elbow. Tanaka knocks him outside, meets him with a crossbody off the top, shoots Awesome into the railing, runs into a hard boot. Awesome sends him back into the fans and follows with a tope. Awesome slings Tanaka back in the ring, follows with a chair, mashes him with it. Awesome follows him with another one, but Tanaka no-sells, chucks the chair away, and knocks Awesome down. Tanaka charges, but Awesome catches, and it's a sit-out powerbomb for 2. Awesome rolls outside, sets up a table at ringside. As Gertner says, this should be Jeff Jones, but now Mike Awesome's off his game plan. He's having to handle the tables himself. He heads back inside and loads up an Awesome bomb. Tanaka slips free, knocks him to the apron, meets him with a hard clothesline. Tanaka follows and dodges another Awesome bomb. He's able to put Awesome through the table with a swinging DDT. Tanaka whips him to the railing, follows with a running chair shot to the head. Back in the ring, Tanaka heads up top and drills a missile dropkick to the back of the neck. Tanaka slams Awesome, heads up with a chair, comes off and drives it through him for 2. Tanaka tries a tornado DDT onto the chair, but Awesome counters and drives him to the steel with a spine buster. He comes off the top of the chair, but Tanaka drop kicks it into his face. Tanaka gets a tornado DDT on the chair for a very close near fall. Joey thought it was 3, and the crowd seemed to be there with him. Tanaka loads up the diamond dust, but Awesome fights him off with a back elbow, ducks a roaring elbow, hits a sit-out powerbomb for another close 2. Awesome gets a top rope splash for 2, fetches another table and sets it up. He loads up an Awesome bomb, but Tanaka slips free, hits the roaring elbow. Awesome slumps over on the table. Tanaka goes up top. Awesome pops up, blocks him with punches, follows up, and finishes with a super Awesome bomb to retain. Joey pushes a controversy with a false 3 count and thinks the ref made an error, and he did count 3 for Tanaka. So I don't know if that's going to lead to another match or not, but they did play it up. Great stuff as always, even though the spots were similar. It did feel fresh for some reason, maybe just because it's been a few months, or Awesome maybe more established now for some reason as champion, but all the insanity and conviction with the delivery also helps. It did lack a little buzz or pizzazz. Like, I don't know if it was just the Tallahassee crowd, or just the fact that maybe Tanaka seemed unlikely to win. Like, they probably weren't going back to that. Maybe a little fan fatigue with these guys. I don't know. But it did lack that aura that their matches, at the end of the year had. Awesome retains the great finish show. Futures for him is back to being cloudy, though. We looked like we were on the verge of massive business with him and RVD warring over the title. And now it's kind of like, all right, who's in line for the pay-per-view for Mike Awesome? So Jenny went 3 3/4. I mean, it's a great match. I'd say a step behind their best, and that's only because that vibe to me was lacking a bit.
I would agree the vibe was a little bit off. I don't know if I'd blame the crowd. I mean, they've been pretty good all night, but I don't know. The spots were sick, and I feel like there was a layer of I don't know, seriousness to it, or maybe fatigue is the word I'm looking for here. But they also just bring it, massive missile drop kick off the top. Tanaka does his shit. Like, he kicks out of the Awesome splash. He damn near had fucking 3. I don't know if y'all believe Joey or if I'm being worked, but it did look like a 3 count. It was the closest 2 I've seen in a long time.
It was close. Yeah. So again, I don't know if it's a plant for them to go,
could be
run a rematch or not, but
and Mike does not hold back on his chair shots. And Tanaka does not hold back on taking them. So those are sick, especially the ones to the face, of course. And then the finish was pretty amazing. So I did the 4 stars on this match. It's another amazing match between these two guys.
Yeah, I went 4 stars on it too. It's probably like the worst one they've had in this series, which is crazy that I still went 4 on it, but it was missing something that those other matches had, kind of to your guys' point, and I don't necessarily know what that is. It was also kind of weird that they just kind of threw this out there with no build either. Like you were mentioning earlier, like they didn't mention this like the week before or anything. It's just like during this episode, oh, by the way, Awesome versus Tanaka tonight. Oh, okay, great. I want to see it again, but holy shit, maybe advertise it. Just kind of weird, but I mean, it's still a fantastic match, and these guys, they just know how to beat the shit out of each other and make it look incredible. So like I can watch these 2 guys do that to each other every week. So I'm not hating it. I mean, and it's still fantastic, but yeah, I think it is as great as it is still, I think, the worst one that they've had. So 4 stars for me. And I'm curious what they do with Mike Awesome now, like kind of with that Phantom 3 count. Like, do they now shift to that at the pay-per-view in a rematch from this? Right. Or like, where do they go from here? So I wonder if that's why they did that, in case they decide to go that route. But I mean, yeah, it's 4 stars for me. It's a great match.
If they do go that route, I'd like to see something like either someone else thrown in there.
Yeah.
Like if you want to get nuts, like do Awesome, Tajiri, Tanaka, and Crazy. Like 4-way.
Damn, boy.
Right?
You trying to get somebody killed.
Or just do Awesome Tanaka and make it like a best of 3. I don't know, like do something different. You know what I mean? Like the final battle or something. Like give
cage match.
It,
Put them in a cage.
Yeah, right. Yeah, we don't get a lot of cage matches in ECW. Death match. Like just something. And like say it's a feud, end of the feud. But we'll see where they go with it. Joey and Joel wrap up in the nest. Joey hypes everything we'll learn next week. Says Raven and Dreamer's issues are becoming like, who shot JR? And Gertner horrors that someone shot Jim Ross. Joey pushes him away and basically says, I work with morons, is what he says.
I hated the way Joey wrapped up this episode, and I never say anything bad about Joey. So that's what stood out a lot to me, because he did that stupid thing. And I think this is maybe one of the reasons why I don't like TNN. Because he did the thing at the end where he asked a bunch of questions.
Right.
Will this happen? Will
Right.
this happen? Are
The
we
Ba-
doing this?
The Batman ending.
Yes, that's it. And
Yeah.
I went, no, no, I don't want to ever hear that again. And I don't know, it just rubbed me the wrong way. And I typically love Joey. So I think it's just the TNN of it is kind of seeping into his broadcast style a bit.
Yeah, I think they just want to. I think they just look at, again, like we talked about, TNN to them is more of a standalone universe right now.
Yes.
And they're assuming, and again, I don't think it's a bad assumption that not everyone tunes in across both, right? Like that there's an audience that just catches them on TNN and that's it, week to week. Maybe they don't get hardcore TV. Don't forget, hardcore TV is not available everywhere at this point, right? So I don't think I had access to it even at this point. So it's like,
I don't think we did either.
You know, so there are people who are only watching this, so they kind of keep it contained. So they're like, you know, tune in next week to find out more on this, because now we did go 2 episodes really with no Dream or Raven stuff. So like,
right,
this will now be a chance to revisit where we are with that. Is it a little hackneyed? Yes. Like I agree.
Yes.
Like, they could have done it a little bit smoother than the tease, but we don't know what's going on here. Well, TNN could have told them to do this, and now they're being like shiesty about it. You know, I mean, like TNN could have said, "We want more cliffhangers." So then they're like, "Okay, we'll give you a cliffhanger," and you get Joey doing the soap, you know, ending or whatever. You know?
Yeah,
like, so,
it was
right. So it's like, whatever.
What will the Riddler do next week, Batman?
Yeah. So it's like
that is how I felt.
It almost felt so unreal that maybe they were told like, "We want more teases for next week's show," you know, and TNN said that, and so they were being silly about
assholes.
it. Yeah, who knows? Because they even make the Jim Ross.
That's a lot of credit, but I'll give you that.
I think they've earned it. All right, best match, awesome Tanaka, naturally.
Yep.
Worst match, I liked it, but I went to tag Doring and Roadkill. I mean, it was still very good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Best moment, the super awesome bomb.
Oof. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I gotta go with that.
Most 2000, it's Cyrus talking about network ratings and Elian Gonzalez.
Yeah.
As usual.
Yeah.
Rising, I went Cyrus, Impact Players, Doring and Roadkill, Crazy, Chetty, Nova. All had pretty good nights. I mean, awesome, Tanaka.
Awesome.
I mean,
yeah, both of them.
Right.
No doubters. Stock falling, RVD's reign, obviously looks like it's slamming to a halt. And then the poor New Dangerous Alliance.
Joey, in a rare moment for me.
Crazy shoulder blade after that fucking flop onto the table.
7.5 out of 10, which I don't know, feels low, but like awesome Tanaka just felt a little bit been there, done that. It didn't feel like Tanaka really had a chance to win the title. And the other stuff was good, not great. So it's still a strong grade. I mean, TNN continues to roll.
But I'm gonna do 8 out of 10. I don't know, just really good matches across the board, and shit happened. I don't know.
Yeah, that was the thing for me. The in-ring stuff was really good on this show, so I went 8 on it.
All right, our last TV of the night, February 19, 2000, Hardcore TV. We're in Tallahassee still. Grimes is groggy on the top rope, being held by Balls. New Jack lights a table on fire as the crowd is buzzing. Balls loads up, puts Grimes through the flaming table to superplex, and the covers for a pinfall win. Angel comes in and takes out Balls and Jack with a chair. So I don't know if this is, I guess it was a match. I don't know. But we basically had to see the spot, which I'm fine with. I didn't need another match.
No.
I was more than happy to just see the table spot and move on.
And interesting to see Flaming Tables back. It's been a hot minute.
Been a while, since the Dudleys, I think.
Yeah.
I would say since, they left in like August. It was like we've kind of taken a break from the Flaming, which I was good with. Like it's fine.
No.
Because they went crazy for a while with it. It was like a lot.
Yeah.
New Jack is the person to bring it back.
Yes, 100%.
All right, we get our opening animation. Joey's in the nest, and he hypes up Living Dangerously 2000 on March 12th. And that brings us to the ring for our opening match, which sees Chaz Taylor, we'll talk about him in a moment, taking on Little Guido. And what that means, only one thing. The Italian lesson of the week. Tonight's lesson is going to kind of cross genres. And the lesson is Porca Miseria.
Porca Miseria.
Porca Miseria.
You want to take a guess as to what that literally translates to? we'll get into the meaning of it.
Miseria pork.
Close.
Pork maze. Pig maze.
Miserable pig. Yes.
Oh.
Okay, yeah.
All right.
Basically, kind of roughly translates more to like, damn it, or holy cow, like miserable pig.
Okay.
So miseria, obviously misery, poverty, hardship, porca, pig. So not only is it kind of a slang word, it's also a 1951 Italian comedy, porca miseria. Two friends, Giacomino and Carletto, have no job and no money, but they're looking for it, or any device that will help them meet their expenses, especially one that will give them the opportunity to fill their stomachs. After several misadventures, they seem reduced to despair, but a ray of hope appears upon the horizon when the two learn of a variety show they can participate in. But they need a companion, a girl with a nice pair of legs. Their early searches are unsuccessful, and then their salvation appears in the guise of a poor, beautiful roommate whom the landlady kicked out for not paying the rent. The trio is hired, but because of the ineptitude of Jack, the show ends in disaster, and the two friends, hungrier than ever, flee with a new partner. In the course of their further adventures, they fall in love, and the girl, and each believes he's the favorite. And they're both greatly disappointed when they come to understand that another third man is one who makes the girl happy. Thus, these miserable pigs, starring Carlo Cracolo and Francesco Galassano. Check it out, 1951, Porca Miseria.
I'm not gonna check it out. I'm not gonna lie to you.
That was an incredible recap.
When we do no so 51.
No, so when Sean heads that up, since he was the only one around,
we will cover it then for sure, in full. We'll do it on Laughing Theater.
I love it.
All right. Anyway, Chaz Taylor, we find as the absurdity rolls on. Joey notes that Taylor is the son of Tugboat Taylor, not the Tugboat we know and love that we fucking hate. Not that Tugboat. This is Tugboat Taylor from Global Wrestling in Houston. Different Tugboat.
Oh. Wow, there are two tugboats.
I believe it is, right, Susan? I don't think it's
beats the fuck out of me.
I don't think it's the same.
I have no idea.
How are there two? I don't get it.
I mean, you've seen water. There could be multiple boats on the water at the same time.
They do look similar, tugboats. Actually. They do look similar.
They're probably the same guy.
No, it's not him because this guy's dead. And his name is Dickie Dean Taylor. What's his real name?
Oh.
I don't know why Tugboat's a better name. I'd be Dickie Dean. That's a good name.
Dickie Dean Taylor.
Born with it. What? That's like Dick Blood all over again.
Right? Fuck. One went the names Tugboat Taylor, Tug Taylor, and Cyclope.
Wow, one of those doesn't belong.
Yeah, he worked in Wing in Mexico.
I'm upset for no reason.
He did have a school in Houston, Tugboat School for Professional Wrestling. I can't get more.
I would not
basic
go
than
to
that.
that.
He does have one notable student. One notable student is Hernandez of TNA fame.
Oh.
So there you go.
Matt's favorite.
Yes. He later trained at a Rudy Boy Gonzalez and Shawn Michaels school. So there you go. He passed away in 2017. So him and his son, global veterans. His wrestling school actually appeared
on tugboats are at half mast when he passed away.
Toot indeed. His wrestling school did appear in Sports Illustrated June 15th, 98 issue that had Michael Jordan on the cover. I'm guessing that was for the finals, NBA finals.
Oh, he didn't make the cover over Jordan? Why not?
Well, I was ironically, I mean, that issue probably covered Dennis Rodman as well, who would have been in WCW at the time.
Yeah,
so
probably.
full circle. So that makes Chaz Taylor.
That was a lot of names.
That was a lot right there.
My brain.
He said Cyclope at one point. That doesn't make any sense.
What are we talking about?
All right. Let's take a break. Take a break. Take a break. Take a breather. Process the names.
Play the cough music again.
All right, I'm good.
Back? You okay?
Yep, I'm good.
All right. So is Chaz Taylor. He's here. He is a second-generation wrestler, you may have heard. We get some quick grappling, alternating resets, a couple pin attempts. Sal trips up Taylor, but he shrugs that off. Hits a pair of atomic drops. Guido ducks a clothesline, gets a backslide for two. Chaz recovers with a jawbreaker, heads up top. Guido catches him right into a Fujiwara in a nice spot. Chaz gets the rope break. Guido's all over him, strikes, but Chaz recovers, gets 2 on a power slam. Guido dodges a top rope moonsault, gets a roll up for near fall. Guido shoots Taylor to the floor, where Sal says, "I hate tugboats," shoots him to the railing and tries an avalanche and hammers away, but Chaz dodges. He bangs into the railing. Guido catches Chaz coming in, punches at him. Chaz hits a bulldog for 2. Chaz tweaks his knee, heads up top, but Guido blocks, hits a powerbomb, and finishes with the Maritato. Good little TV match. A lot of back and forth. Chaz gets some shine. Guido's great at always making everyone look awesome. He was sharp and on point as well. And I think Taylor has a little future potential if they work with him to develop. Like, he had a decent look and some offense. This could be a guy in that Dangerous Alliance realm. They don't really have any faces down there anymore. Doring and Roadkill coming up. So I guess we'll get Chetty, whatever. Fun match, 2.5, Matt.
If Pops is a tugboat, Chaz is a dinghy, because he looked real rough here. I thought he was
Really? I thought he looked all right.
I thought he was a slop ass throughout most of this thing. Like that moonsault he hit was real rough. He just I felt like he was gonna fucking fracture his vertebrae when he crashed on his head. He just Guido was great and he carried this schmuck for most of this match. But we don't need to see Chaz Taylor again. Go back on the fucking Go back on the fucking tugboat. I went.
Shit on tugboat, son.
I went a very gentlemanly 2 stars solely because of Guido. Toot toot, Jenny.
He's been global. Harry Hernandez also trained with $3 million. That's Shawn Michaels. And then
First of all, you should be very offended, Justin, as Guido was wearing the Italian flag when he came to the ring. And I feel like you're not supposed to do that. But
Dominic the Donkey wore the Italian flag as well.
But he wrestles like a rat on speed in this fucking match. Like, he's just so he's like he wants to gnaw Chaz, and then Chaz is the exact opposite. He is so slow and chunky and gross looking. Like, I don't know, this dude.
Wow.
It looked like he was just built to be fucking beat up. Like, he just like
built to work on a tugboat.
Dickie Dean is rolling over in his grave.
I said what I said, Dickie Dean. Not a great look on his part. I think Sal is more agile in the ring than this motherfucker. But a fun win for Guido. 2.25.
The rat on speed. Joey in the nest informs us that RVD is out for 12 weeks with a broken ankle. Also has a broken wrist apparently now too. Living Dangerously 2000 will be a pay-per-view without Mr. Pay-per-view, and talks about his great match at Sabu with Sabu, guilty as charged, which we then get that match. And it's kind of weird now to look back at it and know it's really kind of the end of an era for sure.
Yeah.
We talked about it at the time, kind of feeling like that, but Sabu's done, RVD's injured, just like a month later. So definitely kind of weird timing.
Yeah.
Joey Hubs to pay-per-view says we'll have more on the TV title this Friday. Back to the ring we go as Simon Diamond is taking on Kid Cash. Simon and Mitch head out. Joey says Simon's a diehard Notre Dame fan and is furious at the Seminole chop. Cash heads out as we go to another break. We come back. The match is underway with some chain work. Cash gets a flurry of arm drag. Simon bails out to cool off. Cash meets him and Mitch with a springboard plancha. Cash shoves Diamond in the ring. Simon begs off. Cash comes in kicking. They trade chops. Simon counters a float over with a pancake. Takes over. Joey reminds us that Cash still has that broken jaw. Simon's hammering away. Hits a hard clothesline for 2. Jazz comes out to rally Cash and the fans. Simon hits 2 snap suplexes, but Cash blocks a third, unloads some punches, ducks a clothesline, kicks Simon off, and then hits a tornado DDT for 2. Mitch is up. Distracts Cash as Joey says Mitch looks like a Fanuc. So that could have been our other Italian word. I avoid that one. Jazz yanks Mitch to the floor. Simon loads the Simonizer. Jazz comes in and blocks that, nails a Jazz stinger, and Cash covers for the win. Fine stuff here. Cash is great. Simon's proficient, and it looks like his issues with Jazz are still not yet over. Jenny went 2 stars. And I'm guessing we know the ECW roster are fans of The Sopranos because they've referenced it multiple times.
Yes.
And Fanuc was a word often used on that show. So I'm guessing the timeliness of this episode was probably around that word being used on Sopranos TV.
Yeah, it popped me. This Simon and Jazz feud's going as long as Dreamer and Raven at this point.
Oh my god, it's
Like,
ridiculous. I know.
It's
Crazy.
been going
They
for a
take
minute.
like 3 months off at a time and then come back.
Yeah,
to it.
Yeah.
it's so weird. It's like
Yeah.
she's still pissed off. Like, because I think she lost, if I remember correctly, the
Mhm.
last several times that they met. So, but I love Cash. Like any Cash match, I'm just gonna like it. And it's good to see him in the singles. I think it's been a minute because I think he's been doing like tags the last couple times we saw him.
Mhm.
So I would like to see him move on up. I would like to see him get something a little bit meatier than Simon Diamond, and especially with needing Jazz's help, even though I like Jazz. So, ladies too, Matt?
Yeah, I went 2 stars on it too. There wasn't much here. Is Kid Cash's broken jaw gonna become like Tommy Dreamer's broken back? Like,
I think
Yeah.
are we
so.
gonna? Because like they've been mentioning it like every fucking week. So I hope that doesn't become a thing because we already have enough people injured on this roster that they keep
Yeah.
mentioning. But I mean, the match itself was totally fine. It felt more like a backdrop to the never-ending Jazz Simon Diamond feud more than anything. So to your point, Jenny, I do think it's time for Cash to move up because he's very good and shouldn't be wrestling Simon Diamond anymore. So
Yep.
yeah, gentlemen's 2 for me.
Yeah, so Sopranos would have been around season 2 episode. When this aired, episode 6 would be dropping the next day. Obviously, when this was
Mhm.
recorded, it probably would have been 4 or 5 when they did the commentary for this. Episode 4 is actually the one when they go to Italy, Commendatore.
Ah,
So I'm guessing they were using that word in these episodes for him to randomly just use it suddenly. So, all right, Joey recaps the action from Tallahassee. We then get the full Tanaka awesome match from TNN. Paulie's in the nest and says RVD is out for 12 weeks. Jerry Lynn is down. Dusty Rhodes, Raven, and Francine are in the hospital. And this is a time when a promotion like WCW would be crying, but instead ECW is stronger than ever. And he assures us the revolution has just begun. And I think it's a good rallying cry for any frustrated fans. They probably felt a little desperate. Man,
mhm.
Sabu's gone. RVD's hurt. Other guys are banged up. It's kind of maybe a little repetitive, but week to week, the shows are still really good. Like, I think that
Mhm.
creatively, they're still on point. In
Mhm.
ring, we're still getting some really good matches. Yes, the roster's a little thin, but I think they're doing a good job keeping things afloat as they figure things out. So
Yeah.
that's a pretty good salvo from Paul to the hardcores on Hardcore TV that are watching this. And I noticed it wasn't on TNN. Like, I think it being here
Right.
Right. Yeah.
was
It does need
targeted
more.
toward those that are watching this fucking show or like the
Right.
diehards,
Right.
I had the note about the special message from Tommy Dreamer. I don't know if you had that.
Did I miss that?
Unless I had.
Oh, was it in the Tallahassee recap? Maybe.
Yeah, it was like right. Yeah, it was kind of right in the middle of it.
Mhm.
Okay. Anything good?
But in that same vein as Paulie talking to the hardcore audience, it was Tommy talking to the hardcore audience. He
Yeah.
thanked everybody, and he was like, everybody asked me why I wrestle with a broken back, basically, and he was like, I do it for the fans, and I do it for everybody who's been here for all these years, for buying the video game. Thanks for. He says thank you a lot, you know. It was a bit pandering, not gonna lie, but coming from Tommy, I ended up really liking it.
Well, they probably feel like they had to rally the troops again. Like there's a lot going on.
Yeah.
They want to keep people engaged. WWF is red hot. I mean, we're headed toward WrestleMania 2000,
Mhm.
which that show ends up being a bit of a dud, but the build was fine and
Right.
coming off No Way Out 2000, which was a great show. So they're red hot right now. WCW is tumbling, so it's like they probably felt like we don't want to lose our momentum either.
Right.
Especially with RVD awesome. Looked like it was going to be like
Yeah.
gangbusters.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that was such a big blow that I think Heyman probably felt I gotta fucking say something because if
Right.
I don't, it's rough.
Part of me, like I didn't want to spoil myself, so I had to stop reading the ECW book. So, part of me is like, is this the beginning part of the end? Like, is RVD's injury what ultimately leads to the death
I don't
of the
think so.
company?
I think if RVD left, it would, but I don't.
Right.
I don't think the injury does because I do
Okay.
think he's back soon. I think he's back when they say he's going to be back. So
Mhm.
Mhm.
like we still have
Right.
8 months of RVD left in our journey.
Mhm.
Like so at least the injury doesn't take him out for that year. Really,
Right.
the kill shot is just that it prematurely ends his title reign. That's all.
Right. Okay.
Right.
Which
I
may be,
didn't.
which may be the out anyway, like we said,
Right.
Mm.
An interesting what if, maybe.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
But this was definitely a throwaway episode overall. I mean, we got the
100%.
two full
Yeah.
classic matches in here. So
Right.
best match we saw, and in the past though, that's all it would have been. So they did give us some new content, but it's definitely like they're at the bottom of the barrel of this Tallahassee taping, for sure. Like we've gotten 2 TNNs and a hardcore TV out of this Tallahassee show.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
They milked
right.
it.
Yeah, and again, maybe they were going to show stuff from Orlando, but they could, like, I don't know what the plan was. Maybe they had to just throw the shit together that they had planned. So, all right, best match. I went Guido Taylor, I guess.
That's ridiculous. It's Kid Cash and Simon Diamond.
Yeah, that's my worst match. Best moment. I went Cash's plancha though.
Yes.
Oh, I don't know. I'm gonna go with the flaming table.
Yeah, that was good too. Most 2000. I went Tugboat Taylor's son, even though that feels very early 90s. We can also. I'm gonna put in Rudy Boy Gonzalez. Who's very 2000, even though they're not really talking about him.
Very 2000s name, Jesus.
Stock Rising. I just went Guido and Cash. I thought they both had good nights.
Yeah.
I
Stock
would put
Falling.
Jazz up there too.
And Rising?
Yeah.
Was he doing shit on him the whole fucking time? No, his stock is rising.
I like her. I said I like Jazz.
Oh, I think you said Chaz. I was like,
no, Jazz.
He said Chaz. I was like,
No,
God
fuck
damn.
that guy. He was
No, that dinghy should be in the bottom of the fucking ocean.
All right, Stock Falling. That's what Mitch. I did not like
Bon
Chaz.
voyage, Chaz.
I can't wait till he ends up winning a fucking title in this company at some point.
Yeah, no. He'd be a great fit for the New Dangerous Alliance.
Yeah, because those guys kind of suck too, say for CW.
I kind of miss. I'm not gonna lie. I kind of miss when Justin Credible would bring in all the random dead bodies for as a group, like when he had One Man Gang and all the random.
Remember when Mabel randomly showed up?
Yeah, like I don't know. I wouldn't hate if like the New Dangerous Alliance is sort of rifling in these random guys.
Okay.
5 out of 10 for me. I mean, if you go just by new stuff, it's like a 2 out of 10. But again, if you're not someone who ordered guilty as charged, or you missed TNN, you got Mike Awesome versus Tanaka and RVD versus Sabu in this hour. So I do factor that in generally when I do these. So a 5 out of 10 felt right. Like you get the classic stuff, which for us is kind of whatever. The newer stuff was not that great.
I would agree. I did 5 out of 10 as well.
Same standard filler episode of Hardcore TV here.
All right. That'll do it for us. We'll be back in 2 weeks, continuing on the journey to living dangerously. Let me just check if it's our last set of TV.
I think there's 2 more.
Yeah, we got 2 more. Okay. So we got another 6 episodes of TV to cover. Heading. It feels like the biggest gap in a while. For
I was like, that is a lot of TV. What
Yeah.
are we going to see?
Although, I don't know. Looking at the gap, I don't think it's about the same.
As Taylor.
But we do have a lot of things to build because there is no pay-per-view.
There's nothing. There's nothing announced right now.
They haven't announced shit for it. So.
Maybe
No,
we need this time.
Yeah.
Listen, I remember there's times in this year where they started and this may be one of them. We'll find out. But I remember there were times where they just started coasting on whatever. ECW fans are going to buy this shit, and we know we'll crush it, so we don't need to announce stuff until we're ready. Like, even if they announce no matches, they'll order it because who cares? It's ECW, and they know that we're as well.
Risky. Yeah. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, I think they had their baseline at this point. They were just marketing toward it mainly. All right, that'll do it. We'll be back in 2 weeks with that. Stay extreme. Subscribe. Talk soon. I don't know why did Larry Zbyszko. Makes no sense.